Good morning, guys. How you guys doing today? We're out here in Oklahoma. We're 35 southbound in Texas. Get to go home for a few days and enjoy a few days at the house. Let Billy stretch his legs. I know he's probably tired of being cooped up in the truck too much. So just a nice, peaceful day. Could have been home sooner. We went to a shipper up in Ohio, and I booked the load. I got there to pick it up, and they told me that that there was an issue with the load, that there was something going on with it, that they weren't entirely sure, but it sounded like that they weren't going to ship the load until, or at least start loading until the next day. So I said, okay. I said, well, can I leave my trailer here? That way you guys can just have it, and then I don't need to come back out of, for no reason. You guys can just have my trailer. And they're like, yeah, sure, no problem. Just park it over here. We'll get to it in the morning. I said, okay, no problem. So I called the broker, started my detention, drove over to the pilot, shut down, and the guard check gave me their number, which is always good, guys. Always, if the guard check has the information available to check to see if a load is ready, always get that phone number. That will save you. That will save you time. It'll save you hassle. Because if you leave, if you get up and drive in the morning, you have to start your day. Your clock starts. So then you have to go to that shipper, show up, and your clock's already running. So if the load's not ready, well, it doesn't matter. Your clock's already ready. So you either have to drive back to the pilot, shut down for another 10-hour break, or hope to God that they can get that trailer in and out as quick as possible. So really just one of those situations that it's unfortunate, but if you guys can always get that phone number for the guard check or the shipping office, make sure you guys get it. Make sure you get the correct phone number, the correct extension, because there are obviously different phone numbers for some of these offices, and you really don't know where you're going to be calling whenever you call in. And sometimes if you get the number off of Google, sometimes the number's not right. Sometimes it's an old number and things like that. So good advice: always get the phone number for the guard check or the receiving office ahead of time. That way you can at least call and ask, make sure that the trailer is ready. Especially if you're out here starting to find different lanes. If you're out here as an owner-operator and you're out here, you have a lane and you're used to going to certain shippers, get that phone number from them. Make sure you talk to them and they know who you are, they know what trailer number you've got, so that way it saves you a lot of time, and you know the shipper, you know how they work. That way you know if it's a live load or a live unload, you know about how long to plan for on average. Things happen in this industry that it's going to be crazy sometimes, where it's going to be absurd hold times and absurd, loading and unload times, and crazy stuff happens all the time. But on average, on the normal, it'll be whatever you experience. So, and these guys, they do their best to get you unloaded and out, because obviously they've got that door scheduled for somebody else in a couple hours, so they don't want you there just as much as you don't want to be there. So kill them with kindness, guys. Don't just show up and start being rude and being irritating. And it's professionalism, guys. It's a huge part of it. You gotta treat them with respect, because if you don't, you talk bad to them, or you kind of start, acting like a little kid, putting up a fit, then they'll leave you in that door and they'll forget about you. Just because, they don't need to be talked to like that. And, it's not good, not good business practice. But on to today's topic. I'm just gonna make this real quick, guys. Nothing too fancy, nothing too crazy. Someone commented in the comment section on the last video that they wanted to know what it takes to get your CDL and what it takes to become an over-the-road driver. So that's what we're going to talk about a little bit today. And always going to be that guy or that person or that woman that's going to say, well, I did it this way and that way was the best for me, and by all means, more power to you. I'm not here to tell you that there is one cookie cutter way, because there's not. There's a million different ways to do this stuff. There's a million different ways to be out here. I'm just telling you with my experience and what I saw and what I found to be the best scenario for me. So I've had my CDL for a little while now, guys. When I first got my CDL, I grew up around semis, so I kind of knew how to, how they operate, how they drive. I've driven, pickups with 40-foot trailers. We used to haul cattle and stuff when I was a kid. So I've been around trucks and trailers. Now, I've not always driven them. I don't claim to have the most experience in the world. There's always going to be someone that's more experienced out there than I am. Believe me, guys, it happens. There's always someone out there with a little bit more. So, both of my brothers are older than me. They've got their CDLs. They've had their CDLs. They were in the oil field. They did over the road. They did flatbed. They did dry van. One of my brothers is driving Blue, the other blue truck that you saw in previous videos. I know it looks like the same truck, but it's not the same truck. Same body, same years, same everything else, just different truck. So anyway, he's driving that one right now. He's out there running the spot market under the DOT number. So with getting your CDL, there's two ways you can go about it. One, you can go to a trucking school. You can go to any of them. I mean, they're all over the country. They're all over the place. And I've seen them as low as $800. I've seen them as high as $6,000. I'm sure there's some that are out there that are a little more, maybe a little less. I know there are some out there just in that middle range. I've seen 4,000. I've seen 2,500. I've seen just different price ranges out there. So that's one way. And if you don't have any experience with trucks, do your research on them. Make sure that you're actually getting into something that you want to be getting into. One good way is to start out local driving a box truck. You don't necessarily need a CDL for it. I know Lowe's, if you go drive for Lowe's, they have the box trucks there. You don't need a CDL for it. I have a buddy that's worked for them for a long time. He drives them. He's home every night. He's worked for Lowe's for 13 years. And, I mean, he makes, not bad. So, you can start out with that. It's a straight truck. It's not a truck and trailer, but, they're about 26 feet long. So, you have a little bit, you're bigger than a car, bigger than a truck, but not as big as a truck and trailer. So, if you guys want to start out there, just, those kinds of places, Penske, Ryder, Lowe's, Home Depot. I'm sure that there's other box truck companies out there. You don't need a CDL to go to those companies, or you shouldn't have to have a CDL. Some places would prefer you to have a CDL because they do have air brakes on them. So, just get out there, learn how to drive something that's bigger than, your F-150 or your Toyota Camry, whatever you got. So that's one way, guys. But go to a trucking school. But do your research on the trucking school also. Make sure you guys are actually out there looking at the trucking schools and looking at what they teach, because I want to say this, that not every trucking school is the same. There are some that are better than others, and there's some things that you're going to have to learn on your own regardless. I've talked to many guys that went to trucking school, and not a single one of the trucking schools taught them how to slide tandems. And your tandems are your trailer tires, how to slide your trailer tires. And the reason is because a lot of those places give you a very short trailer to take the test, because at least in Texas, part of the CDL test is a straight line back, a parallel park, and an offset back to the blind side. So those things are things you have to get tested tested on. And the reason they give you a short trailer is because a short trailer, you can turn a short trailer a lot quicker than you can a 53-foot trailer. But the downside is a short trailer can get very squirrely on you very quickly. So if you're out here driving 53-foot trailers and you test it on a 40-foot trailer or a 26-foot trailer or a 30-foot trailer, because they make trailers of all sizes. If you're out there and you trained on one, but now you're out here driving another one, the trailer swings are different. And as well as these 53-foot trailers, when you slide the tandems, your turn radius changes. That's why in certain states you have a bridge law, which we'll go into that in another video. So go to a trucking school, make sure you do your research on the trucking school, make sure you pay attention in the trucking school, because there are certain things that are in there that they're going to teach you about that are going to be for your safety as well as everyone else's safety here on the road. They should teach you common courtesy. You know, the biggest and easiest thing, guys, is to remember that you are the biggest and you are the slowest thing out here on the road. I know these speed limits say 75 miles an hour, and yeah, you can go 75 miles an hour or 80 miles an hour or 90 miles an hour, or however fast you want to go. But from a stop to a start, you are the slowest thing to get up to speed, because you just have so much weight behind you and so much extra, you know, you have to ramp your RPMs up, you've got to shift, you've got that time in between your shifts. It takes a few minutes to get up to speed. So remember, if someone else is getting on, just ease off a little bit, you know, let them on. You know, now, if your exit's in a half a mile, I mean, I don't really know what to tell you. I mean, that's my own opinion. I think the person on the on-ramp needs to hit the gas to either get ahead or hit the brakes to get behind. But that's, you know, you should also be paying attention to see if they're going to be causing an incident on your end. So, but going to a trucking school, learning different things that the trucking school is going to teach you, how to drive, how to shift, how to do everything that you need to do to maneuver that vehicle safely. So they do have manual, they do have automatic trucks. I know some of the classes, they have manual trucks, and if you can't learn how to double clutch, because I believe they still make you double clutch on your driving test. I still think you have to double clutch on your test. If you can't learn how to double clutch, then they just pull you out and put you in an automatic, just so you can go ahead and pass the test. So like for Texas, you have to have, if you take a test in a manual transmission, you don't have any restrictions. But if you take a test in an automatic, you have an automatic restriction. You can only drive automatic trucks. So something to think about, something to really, you know, make sure you wrap your head around. The other thing is, if you don't want to go to a trucking school, you don't necessarily have to. Now, what I did was I went down to the Department of Public Safety. I paid I think it was $60 or $50. I don't even remember how much it was. But they sat me at a computer. You take the written tests, and it's a general knowledge, an air brake, a combination, and some other test. I think it's like 4 tests total, but there's general knowledge, air brakes, combination, and something else. I don't remember the other test. But you have to pass all 4 of those tests, and when you pass all 4, you get your permit, and your permit will have all your information on it, and then you select if you want it to be intrastate or interstate. And then interstate means you can go to any state. Intrastate means you can only stay within that state that you got your license in. Now again, this is only for Texas. I don't know about other states. I never really looked into it that much, just because it really wasn't any of my business about what another state. I know that different states test differently. I know certain states have different testing requirements and things like that. I'm just saying this is what I did through Texas, and this is how I got my CDL. So I got my permit, and then after you get your permit, the state requirement is 2 weeks. You have to hold your permit for 2 weeks, and then from there, you can schedule a driving test. And the driving test consists of a pre-trip inspection, which you have to pass the pre-trip inspection, and the truck has to pass a pre-trip inspection. If the truck has an air leak, or the truck's got an oil leak, or the truck's got a hub leak, or your tires aren't inflated all the way and it's easily noticeable, or if you don't have the buzzer when you're doing your pump down, anything that could automatically fail a truck for a DOT inspection, they're going to fail the truck also. And if I remember correctly, it does count as one of your attempts. So make sure that you bring a truck that is roadworthy, that is legal, and make sure you bring someone to the test that can drive with you, because when you have a permit, you're not allowed to drive with someone, or you're not allowed to drive the vehicle without someone who has a current valid CDL. So I know some places they'll turn you away if they catch you showing up without someone. So again, this is all in Texas. I don't know about other states. Leave it in the comments what other states have. I mean, leave what you guys had to test on. I know some of the guys that have been in the game for a lot longer than I have. I know you guys didn't even have written tests. You just had a road test, and you didn't even have a pre-trip. It was just get in the truck. Can you shift? Can you make this turn? Okay, here's your license. So different things, guys. Different rules, different times. So this is at least what I remember is the most current. I've had a couple buddies that go and have gotten their CDLs recently, and they say that it's pretty similar to what I had to go through. They're just kind of, dealing with small little differences here and there, but you get your permit, you gotta wait 14 days, and then you bring a truck and a trailer with you to the location for testing, and then you do a pre-trip inspection. You'll do a straight line back, you'll do a parallel parking, you'll do an offset back, and then you go for your road test. So that's how you get your CDL. Those are the two ways that I know of that you can get your CDL. Now, again, it depends on where you go in Texas. I know some places are more strict than others. I know different instructors are more strict than others. Some will let you slide. Some, if you say, oh, I'm looking at the three-piece linkage, well, sometimes they don't want to hear three-piece linkage. They want to hear the individual pieces of the three-piece linkage. They want to hear the trailing arm. They want to hear the leading arm. They want to hear those things, because that just means that you're actively paying attention to what is going on with your vehicle, with your tractor and your trailer. So that's how you get your CDL. And then how to go over the road is really up to you. I mean, there's a couple different ways you can apply for different companies. I know certain companies have training. I think Swift still has their CDL training. So like if you don't have a CDL, you can go get one with Swift, and they'll put you in a truck and put you on the road and teach you how to drive and stuff like that. So I think they have that going on. So scale's open, guys. So here we go, I guess. It's kind of strange. I don't even know where we are. I know we're South 35. I didn't think we were this close to the border already. Anyway, but yeah, so that's part of it. And make sure that you're actively researching the company. Make sure that they're doing what they say that they told you they were going to do whenever you came through. So like if you show up, oh man, this thing is full. Make sure that, if they hire you and they tell you over the phone, make sure that you get all your facts straight, because I know that those recruiters can really be something else. I mean, I know that they do their best, to give you the most accurate information, but at the same time, it's it can be hit or miss, especially with some of the recruiters. But I mean, going over the road, you guys gotta first determine if you want to be over the road. I mean, there's regional, there's dedicated, there's over the road, there's 48, there's 37. So I mean, there's different avenues. There's local, and there's some local accounts out there that do pay pretty good money. Preacher Paul, I know you commented last time. You said that you found a local gig, or not local, but a route that you like, and it pays you 6 figures. So more power to you, brother. I mean, you don't have a truck payment, you don't have any real responsibility. So I mean, that sounds like a pretty dang good gig, you know. But they're out there, they do exist, but it also depends on your experience too. So those of you guys that are out there that are brand new probably aren't going to be making 6 figures right out the gate. If you choose to go with the company, you can do what some other people have done and go outright and get your authority and get a truck and get a trailer and, you know, start, you know, being an owner operator right out of the gate. There's nothing wrong with that. I have no faults on anybody that wants to push themselves. I think that is a wonderful idea for anybody, because everybody has to push themselves to a goal and a limit every time. So a huge part of that, hats off to you guys. I built my way up, got my own authority, and now I'm trying something different. That other authority is still running, but like I said, I do have a big reveal for you guys. I want to talk to you guys about it. I want to make it its whole video. Leave me a like if you guys are excited about that, because I really want to leave an option for you guys out there. And I'm trying to test this out. I'm trying to see how it works. So that's, again, a whole nother video. And I'm sorry this video is taking so long, but I'm trying to go in depth. I'm trying not to skim over so quickly over some of this stuff, because some of this stuff is important that you should know, that you should hear about before you start trying to make a decision into truck driving, because it's not for everybody. There are some guys that go over the road and they cannot stand it. They do not like it. They do not want to be gone from home. Me personally, I have found a good in between. I have a wonderful woman at home. God bless her, and I think I'm the luckiest guy every day that she puts up with me and me being so hard-headed sometimes. Sometimes I forget how far long I've been out, and she calls me and says, hey, you need to start working your way back. And I say, yes, dear, and start coming back. So, but that's support network, but that's also two individuals that are fine working independently away from each other. So there's differences in that too. I mean, you have to want to be over the road. And for me, I liked being over the road because for me, it was like camping. Because you're never going to be in the same place twice. At least you shouldn't be. And if you are, it's not a big deal. So it could be, bad, it could be good or whatever. So, alright guys, so stop before you proceed across the scale. Wait for that guy to get off, get the green light, and just slowly creep over. Typically they like you to be at 2 or 3 miles an hour max, just because that's all the scale can do. See, she's looking at the weights. We're only 9,000 pounds in the box, so I mean, if we do have anything at all, I'm sure she's doing fine. And she gave us the wave, so we're out of here. So that's the, I don't even know what scale house this is. This is just such an oddball scale house to have open. Anyway. But yeah, guys, so, figure out if you want to be over the road. Figure out if you want to be local. Try out local. See if you even like being in a truck, because I can tell you what, there are some times that it's not the most fun being in here. I mean, I listen to music. I love music. Leave a comment. Leave me your favorite song. I love building playlists, because I just think they're so much fun, and I really like diving into the meaning of different songs and different tunes. And if I can get down to it, I can get down to it. So I listen to everything. I like country. I like rock. I like classic. I like rap. I like all kinds of stuff, guys. So leave me a comment on what you guys want down there. But yeah, guys, so that's really all it is to be a truck driver. How to get a CDL and tolerate these people that like to do just over the speed limit and get right in front of you. But yeah, guys, so if you are thinking about going over the road, really put a lot of thought into it. See if you can be away from your home for extended periods of time. I want to say that there's a normal rotation of, like, they'll keep you out for 2 weeks and then they bring you home for 2 days, just long enough for a reset. But for me, I just and go home for 2 days, 2 or 3 days. And I mean, some guys, I've met some of these old timers, they're gone 5-6 weeks, and then they go home for a week, you know, because they stayed out, they made their money. Now it's time to go home and enjoy it. So a big part of it, guys, figure out what rotations work best for you. Figure out what company works best for you, because I don't want to say they're all the same, but a lot of them are the same, especially some of the mega carriers like Schneider, Swift, Knight, JB Hunt. They're all pretty much the same. You're going to be picking up at the same locations as other mega carriers, and you'll see a handful of owner-operators in there and stuff like that. So it's I don't want to say they're all the same, because they're not, but I feel like the way that they pay is almost all the same. Because I mean, it's like, oh, you get, you know, we have new trucks. Okay, well, you have new trucks, but this company has old trucks, but I'm getting paid, you know, 5 cents more per mile. You know? So see what works for you, though, guys. I'm not going to say which company is good, which company is bad, because I don't have experience with those companies. I know I've had experience with some companies, and I've determined my own thought process on it. I always think that working for yourself is probably the best situation, just because you're working for yourself. You're your own boss. You decide when you leave. You decide when you go home. You decide how much money you make, and that's a huge part of it. So but yeah, guys, that's going to be all for today. Sorry this video is so long. Thank you guys for everybody that's stuck around this long. I do apologize it's so long, but I did want to get everything in there for you guys as specific as I could with my experiences. And again, these are my experiences. They're not 100% true to everybody's situation. You know, it just depends. But I couldn't afford truck driving school. It was way too expensive for something that I kind of already knew how to do. And again, I've always had my brothers to lean on to show me and teach me, you know, how to float gears, how to take turns, how to downshift, how to double up, how to double down, you know, and things like that. So it's all on who you know and how they teach you and things like that. So that's going to be a huge part of it, guys. And that's going to be all for today. I'll see you guys next time. I'll try and, oh, come on. I'll probably put another video up tomorrow. This load is going down to South Texas, so it can't deliver until tomorrow. So we'll probably just get this down to the house and just enjoy some home time and do a quick little run tomorrow and just get down and boogie. So, all right, guys. Again, thank you to everybody who stayed around watching this long. I appreciate it. Leave me a comment on what you thought about my opinion, or, you know, leave me a comment on how you guys got your CDLs. I'd love to hear the story. So, like that, guys. I did get a new mount. I don't know if you guys noticed or not. It seems to be a little less shaky than the other one. But let me know what you guys think. I don't want to... I'm trying to test out different mounts. I told you guys I was going to test them out. This one is seems to be a lot better, and it seems to hold the phone a lot easier. So, but again, you know, let me know what you guys think, and we'll get you next time. All right, God bless. Bye.